Take a moment and settle in. For the next few minutes, John sits down with Gary McCann Jr. to reflect on a remarkable life, the life of Gary's dad, and the lasting impact he had on both of them. Through memories, stories, and moments that shaped them, they revisit the lessons, character, and wisdom passed down from one generation to the next. John believes that conversations like these hold treasures, small nuggets of wisdom that can inspire, encourage, and remind us of what truly matters. We invite you to listen, reflect, and enjoy this special conversation. Welcome to John Dash and Friends. Because this isn't just another interview, you're watching history.
He just was always so accommodating, for me, and I know probably our dads are probably better to strangers than they are to us sometimes. But I mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot of times people talk about my dad being so sweet, and I think, I don't remember everything you're saying. All right?
I think a lot. He liked to help people.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He took pride in helping people.
He sure did. And well, what are you doing now?
I'm actually working for Thomas Body Shop.
Okay.
We kept the shop open there, after he passed for a while, and I ended up just going on about my way. It just didn't work out for the family situation there. But worked for them before for about 3 years, and they was pretty good to me, so I ended up.
Well, where are they located at?
Belfast. It's not far past Southwest College.
All right. I tell you, body work's a sensitive thing. I mean, it ain't something you can take for granted knowing how to do.
Well, there's a lot of liability.
Right.
I mean, it could come back even just on the technician himself.
Right. And you really gotta. I mean, I've never even remotely attempted to do anything like that. You know what I mean? I got buddies that seem to be pretty good. I know Dean Kennedy, he loves doing it. He does a lot of that stuff. I mean, him and Rick, they just, I stopped over and looked, he just got a 59 Cadillac in the other day that they're working on. They had a big 57 Chevrolet they've went all through, and man, the body work's just beautiful how they do that stuff. Every floorboard made out back to original and stuff like that. That's I guess you get to doing that too. You can sort of maybe tie up a lot of money and stuff you like. Being careful. Does that make sense?
Money and time as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can tie up a lot of stuff and think about that. And did you work with your dad when you were young?
Sure did. Pretty much all. Well, I started going and hanging around the dealership there in middle school and early in high school. And I worked some through high school.
Right.
And we started the auto sales like right about when I graduated, and I was there and at the body shop for a pretty good while. I did travel on the road and do a little bit of electrical work for about 5 or 6 years. And other than that, I was there.
I tell you what, I bet it's hard to do when you have people in your life like your dad and my dad that are so big as far as their personality and where they are. I mean, it's sort of, you have to find your footing somewhere, and it's not as easy to do. Does that make sense?
I understand.
And we all have to try to find that footing for us that are individual. I know. I left and went to work for McDonald's. I worked for my dad for years, but he didn't want to get started till lunch sometimes. You know what I mean? And there was stuff I thought, you drive me crazy. And I said, but I mean, to find your own footing when your father has a big personality, and everybody knows it's a lot more to do, ain't it?
It is.
Yeah, it is. I think about the dealership and stuff, and where you're talking about working there. I mean, there's a lot of people employed and a lot of jobs.
Sure was. I can remember Mom dropping me off, and I would help clean up cars. That's where I started, kind of work my way through everything.
Right. And you you know, that's why I said you sort of got to work your way through it and try to find your footing too.
That's right.
In the middle of it all.
Tried a little bit of all of it.
Yeah. And I think that's good that you can do that. You know, I mean, you got to try to find your spot in your place.
That's right. Well, it helps a lot when you enjoy what you do. You know, that's the bottom line. You have to be okay with what you're making a living at.
Right. I've always told my kids, I said, if you got to make a living first, then it'd be good if you can find something you like doing while you make a living.
It's a big plus.
But if you can't, you just got to make a living first. And then if you're blessed enough, you can find something you like to do.
That's right.
As you go along into it. What are some things you think about it? And I didn't know your dad personally, as far as what we're talking about personally. I didn't go hunting or fishing with him.
Right.
Did he hunt or fish or do anything like that?
He raced drag racing. Right.
My dad never hunt, no fishing, nothing like that. You know, we showed horses and done things like that.
Right.
But it's funny when you talk to people like that, because I meet some guys, me and Dad went hunting.
We never done anything like that. We do a little project or something,
right.
You know, work on some cars, or he was big into that drag racing for
right.
a long time. I remember one time we had it was about September, and there was usually one last pretty big race, you know,
right.
and it come down to we was needing some tires for the race car.
Right.
And I remember Dad, he was joking with Mom, and he said, well, I don't guess we're going to be able to go racing. He said, you got a birthday coming up,
right.
and I need tires for the race car. And she said, well, I guess I'm getting tires for my birthday this year. So we went racing after that.
I tell you, that racing can become an addictive thing, can't it?
It was.
I've watched people do it.
We did it a lot.
Yeah. I know I get to work with Joe White some on his race car, him and Mike Compton, and I watch the money to spend and the time you do. It's a lot. You have to really something you enjoy like that.
To be competitive, you pretty much got to tie up.
Yeah. We was at a race one time, and we were there, and that one of the guys we know come over, and there's cars lined up to their Toyota and Chevrolet and everybody. He come out and he said, you know, there's only you and one other guy that are doing this for fun. The rest of these people are not doing it for fun. he said, that guy. Well, I was talking earlier with somebody was talking about, man, you remember Thomas Dunford when he got killed?
I do.
Wasn't that something?
It was a pretty bad deal.
How quickly could something like that happen, too?
Just the instance.
Just happened in a minute.
You hear different stories. I heard there might have been some medical. I mean, you just
right.
don't ever know.
Don't know. Well, like a rocket, too, you know, when a rocket, I mean, you don't know what, I mean, gee whiz. I mean, you know, I used to tickle me. I rode some with Jerry to the races some. I go to him some one time, and Harold Robinson, I had an old Chevelle I was racing, 400 small block in it, and so I asked him one time, I said, what can I do different? He said, first thing, put some air in them tires and quit smoking them down there. You don't have no need in doing that. He said, he gave me some good advice too. He gave me some good advice. And I bought one car off of Jerry one time, and I messed the car up. It was a nice Camaro, tubbed out, wheels was tubbed, and had the roll bars inside of it and everything like that, but didn't have a motor worth nothing. Had a little small block engine, and then I stopped out there and got Harold's brother to build me a motor that done the Corvettes.
Right.
And I paid high dollar for the motor and got it and blowed it up.
Oh, no.
Made me so sick, and I think that put me out of business. It didn't take much to put me out.
It don't take much. I remember one time we had went from like top sportsman racing to pro stock, which is like an all motor class.
Mm-hmm.
And Dad had acquired a block where he was a Ford dealer. You know, there wasn't many of them out there to get at the time, and he got one. Well, it took us 6 or 8 years after that to get the thing put together,
right.
You know, to actually make it where we could run it. And they had opened a new track in Charleston, West Virginia. And we got the car ready, made a couple short passes, you know. It come time to make the first full hit, and he blew that thing up. And Harold said it had a huge hole in the side of the block.
Right.
And I said, I think I seen where that piece of the block went. And Harold said, if you can go back up there and find that, he said, it would sure help me fix this. But I did. I actually went back up and found the piece. But
Wonder if Harold's still doing anything.
I think so. As far as I know, he is.
He was a tough fellow, wasn't he?
He is
Golly. He's made out a little different cloth.
He is that.
You know what I
He's a
mean?
Smart man.
He's real straight, too, wasn't he? Talk to him.
Yep.
He wasn't a really nonsense type of guy.
He really wasn't.
Like me.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, man, he just smart on them motors. He just was, gee whiz. I mean, AI is not going to take his place, I don't believe.
Mm-mm.
It ain't going to take your place working on the car, is it?
No.
You can't go into ChatGPT and say, hey, fix this bumper.
If it really did, that'd be handy.
You'd be wanting that program, wouldn't you?
I need that.
Oh, man. That's pretty good. So when you think about some of your favorite memories of your dad growing up,
I would have to say probably the races. We had a lot of good times in doing that.
Yeah.
We traveled a lot. It's just it was a lot of, family time together.
yeah. Was your dad the type of guy that took y'all on vacation? Did he do that?
We went usually on one vacation a year. Most of the time we went to the beach.
Hold on a second, brother. Let me get that.
Most of the time we went to the beach.
Okay.
Other than that,
That's pretty good. My dad wasn't big on vacations. So
I don't think he really was
He
either.
just-
But
he knew. I was telling him about Camden Park. You ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I went one time when I was a boy, and I'm getting ready to take my grandkids and stuff this summer and make them go, because I went one time. It's a little bit dangerous of a place. It's a little old-fashioned amusement park.
Right.
Don't believe there's many safety guides and stuff like that. But I want them to go see it again anyway. It's a big old clown on a sign. I want to go back to that place one more time. Let them all see that. But I think about that. I think it might have been the age of people in that time. You know what I mean? They just didn't. Do you do with your kids? Do y'all go on vacations or something?
Yeah. Usually try to.
See, that's something, man.
Try to go
I mean, we
somewhere.
run around. I took my kids, hauled them up and down the road everywhere.
Yeah, we usually take a long weekend here and there. Definitely a week during the summer.
Yeah.
Try to do something.
Yeah, but that's funny how we do that, but they seem like that age that my dad was more of a storekeeper, business man. He didn't really think about. I believe I talked to John Glavers a while back. I interviewed him. He told me he'd never took a vacation, and I believe it too.
I could believe that.
I mean, John just straight cut and dried, but he's a He's a cool cat.
He's a good dude. He's been really good to me.
He is neat too. You ever seen his farm equipment?
Oh yeah,
Work
on a lot of it.
Ain't it clean?
It is.
I mean,
it is.
Everything's clean and neat.
What gets me is he's got different mowers for different lots.
Yeah.
Like he uses these to mow his rental houses. He's got this section in below his barn. He uses a mower for that. And he's got the office there next to my house.
Right.
He's got certain mowers he uses
I
there.
know. He's the neatest. And the thing about I've been friends with him a long time, but when I talk to him, because we're totally different. Okay, because whenever I get a little money, I go do something. Okay, but not John. He invests it, puts money back. He's smart.
He is.
And I told him, I said, I just don't understand why we're friends. Okay, because he is so good about that stuff. And I meet people like that a lot of times in there, and I've never really been as good as I ought to be about that. But
yeah, me too.
I mean, I talked to a guy the other day. I was talking to him. I don't know if many people in my family have ever retired, what you call retired. It just seemed like we've always just kept doing something, puttering and doing things. And when I meet people that actually retire, and it's fascinating to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually find something for it before I ever keep it or invest it.
Yeah. What do you think about memories when you think about stuff growing up? And I don't know, you think about things, you think about your memories and times you had. And I've shared before, you don't know memories are memories when you're making them. You think they're just normal days, don't you?
Right.
You think it's just a regular day. And I think with our kids and our families as they grow up, sometimes we miss that. We don't know that we're actually making a memory.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
It even makes you think back, like when you were young, when you're doing stuff with your own kids. Now you kind of start thinking back of times you had when you was their age, you know.
Right. Yeah, you get to thinking about that stuff, and seems like time goes pretty fast too. I mean, it goes faster than what you think. You'll look up and the kids will be grown up.
It does.
How many kids you got?
Got two.
Two? How old are they?
They're 10 and 14.
10.
And Kevin just turned 14.
That's a good age, because the 14-year-old is intelligent. They know everything. And right up till they're 18 or 17, 18 years old, they know it all.
Oh, yeah. He's got it all figured out.
That's pretty cool, ain't it?
Yeah.
I remember telling my dad when that age how smart I was, and him laughing. You know,
Yep.
10's a pretty good age. That's sort of pliable. That seems like that works out pretty good. Boys or girls?
One of each.
Oh, well, you got your hands full. You get the best of both worlds. That's good. That's real good. And like I said, I mean, there's a gift in what you're doing when you talk about body work and you talk about doing those things. And I think a lot of people, when you look at it, you don't really understand it as much as when you see it actually take motion.
Right.
And see it happen.
It's a process.
Yeah. Yeah. And what have you seen change over the years in what you're doing when we talk about the job and what you do in body work?
I guess really technology,
Uh-huh.
the wiring, the sensors,
Right.
just becoming a whole lot more technical.
Yeah.
The products tend to be, they start becoming a little quicker. That's
Right.
A lot of the time in repairing something, you're more or less waiting on cure time.
Okay.
This and that.
That makes sense. I think about that stuff when you think, and I'm trying to think of what I wanted to talk to you about. I mean, and your dad, and when I talk to so many people, he meant a lot to a lot of people. Okay, he really did. I mean, I could go out there and it wasn't like it. He got no hurry. We could sit down and talk. You know what I mean? He'd sit down there and talk. Had a little TV on, and we'd just sit there and talk. It wasn't like he ever said, John, I got to go. I ain't got time to talk right now.
Right.
He never said that one time to me. He'd just sit there and we'd talk about it and look around and I'd see stuff in that shop. I think, this is been here for a year or so. Some stuff I'd see in there. I think, when you think about life lessons, Gary, I think about lessons that I've learned that my dad taught me, some things he taught me. But what can you think when you think about life lessons or things maybe that your dad told you, when he was sort of setting you straight or sharing something with you? What were some things that stand out in your head?
Probably one thing that does stand out the most would be if you want to have anything, you pretty much got to work for it to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
that one kind of stands out there.
Yeah.
amongst the others, but
well, that's a big thing. I think a lot of times people get scammed because they get greedy and think they're going to get something for nothing.
that's for sure.
Okay. That makes sense. I think there's a big people they'll prey on that. People that scammers will. They prey on greed and tell you, hey, if you'll just help me with this, or if you'll send this, we got you this amount of money coming. And once they do that, then I talked a lot to Brian Height. We talked a lot about scammers and stuff that goes on.
Right.
And I'm gonna talk to some of the ladies at the bank. We talked about that, how there's things that happen. Now, some things just happen.
They do. It's tricky. I mean, a lot of times you don't know whether to believe.
Right.
Even like earlier today, my wife sent me a picture of a text message like from the DMV.
Yeah.
I said, just ignore that. I don't think they'd be just randomly texting you
I don't think so.
a toll booth ticket.
Yeah. Oh, we get those all the time.
Yeah.
You get them kind of things. Well, the Bible says you got to make it by the sweat of your brow, and I think that's a lot of people forget that.
This day and time they do.
That's exactly right. By the sweat of your. Well, so you think about life lessons. He taught you that you ain't gonna get something for nothing.
That's for sure.
And if you do, it's probably stolen.
Yeah.
It probably run into that. When you think about, and I'm asking you some things about your dad because I really wanted to talk about him some because I think he's just important, okay? When you think about things that has influenced your life, that sort of molded you, I know we talked about things that he sort of said to you that might shape you, but are some things that you've watched him do that sort of have molded you and caused you to do things different in your life?
Well, one, like you said, when somebody comes to you to talk or have a problem or whatever, you take the time to speak with them and work it out. I think that was a big plus, that he had. He had patience. He would just take the time he needed to take and work through it.
He always seemed like he was real patient with that, Now, sometimes I know people can be different with the public than they can with their family. Connie says to me all the time, she says, I'm real patient with everybody else, but I'm always tough on her. And, you're different with grandchildren than you are with your children. You're more patient with them. You know what I mean? You'll take your time with them. I know several times Colson's told me, he said, my grandsons, he said, well, you'd have killed me if I'd have done that, Dad. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, but, they're the grandkids. I'm a little more patient with them. Yep. I can drop them off and send them home. They won't care, Well, I tell you what, if I ask you this, Gary, if I ask you what you like to do that makes you happy, what do you do that if you were just doing it other than work, what do you like to do?
I would say just time with the family. With the hours we put in, you don't get a lot of that.
Right.
So my wife, she works night shift, so it's kind of few and far between. So I would say family time.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference. How long you been married?
Oh man,
I put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah, almost 20 years.
That's good, man. That's real good. I've been married almost 43 years, but 20 years is good. That's good. You do any housework, or you make her do it all?
Well, I probably slacken on that just a little bit more than I need to.
So I take it you don't do no cooking, no clothes washing, no houseworking, no nothing.
I probably need to be doing a little bit more than I am. That was one of our agreements way back, that if she was going to work after her kids,
you had to pitch in.
I had to pitch in.
But you're sort of waiting a little bit. You're just trying to pace yourself.
Well, I've been slacking a little bit lately. I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to put in a day's work and go home and put in another.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm pretty good on most stuff except the washing machine. I really can't figure it out exactly. I just can't tell, you know what I mean? It's not like there's no knob. It's all these buttons that throws me off. Then it'll start beeping, and I don't know what's beeping about. I don't know what that washing machine's doing. She'll finally tell me just leave it alone. She'll just leave it alone. Oh, you don't do no cooking?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do some cooking.
I like to cook too. What do you like to cook?
I've been pretty big on barbecue here lately.
Yeah.
Some pork loin, stuff like that.
Yeah. I do barbecue a couple of different ways. I put it in an oven and sometimes, but then I put it in a crock pot sometimes, and it's sort of cheating, all right?
That's what I done with the last loin I done. It does pretty good.
I like putting it in a crock pot, you know what I mean? Put a little barbecue sauce on that thing and turn it on, leave it going, get even.
Just forget about it.
I mean, I know it's a lazy way to do it, but I like it like that.
It works pretty good.
You can throw a little bit of Baby Ray's on top of them.
Yep.
Or you can catch it on sale already seasoned.
I've seen that.
At Food Line, and I can rock and roll with it. I can take it and go on. I like cooking like that, but I like fried potatoes, stuff like that. I do a lot of that kind of. I fried sweet potato the other day and done some sweet potatoes and fried them. First time I ever done that.
It
was pretty good. It was different. I did cheat and put a little bit of brown sugar on my frying about that. So, all right. So, I know it's hard to think about it, but when you think about goals in your life and things that you'd like to do in the future, what do you think about in your life when you think about goals?
Oh, man.
I know that's a challenge.
It is.
It really is.
I would have to say I'd really want to see my kids graduated off to college.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point even have a shop, of my own to work out of. If not, just for personal use or whatever.
Right. Well, I think we got to have goals. You know what I mean? We got some things. If you don't sort of have some, you'll never know when you get there if you don't know what you want, And I know it's hard sometimes because sometimes, like you're saying, you just get so wrapped up in taking care of day to day that you don't think about the future.
Yeah.
What you really want to do.
Yeah, you can look up and 2 or 3 years past it.
You're
just
exactly.
going in, one day to the next.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always thought, I've tried working with my kids having a plan, like a 1-year plan, a 2-year, and a 5-year plan. I said, you can always change your plan, but you need to have one.
Right.
If you have a plan, and because you'll never know you're in the future if you don't sort of plan it. You just go on and on. And I think it's easy to do that. When you think about people, when you think about men your age, okay, how old are you?
46.
All right, when you think about men your age, what kind of advice would you give them? What would you give them advices that are out there nowadays? Because there's a lot of men out there, and some of them they're a little bit astray. They haven't been married 20 years, okay?
Right.
They haven't been able to go on and take care of something. What kind of advice would you give them?
I would have to say you definitely get back what you put into it. It's a constant, and like you said, you have to set your goals. You have to be aiming towards something.
Right. And I think, I've said before, if you think about stuff, if you can, I don't know, I've shared people that work for me before, I've said half the battle, if you'll just show up, okay? If you have people that, I said, first thing, just show up for work.
Yeah.
And, and that seems to be a challenge for a lot of people, just showing up. I ain't talking about doing a good job. We'll deal with that after a while, but when you think about just showing up and being there and I think about funny things in your life that I remember. We traded a car in one time out there at the dealership. Dennis and I did. And I had a keychain made. It had John Hart's Janice at the state fair. Traded the car in, and then the keychain went with it, and I didn't think about it. But they had a fire out there in the shop one time, out there in the mechanic shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had to be maybe a year or so later, I come out there and I looked up on the wall and there hung my keychain, okay? And moved it back, and it was clean behind it, and the flames had come across that thing, and the smoke.
Ah.
And that keychain was I pulled it off her, and I told him, I said, that's my keychain. What are you talking about? I said, it's got John Hart's Janice on it. I said, I still got that keychain.
Ah.
And I brought it home and put double-sided tape on it, and I got it up on the very top of the television. And every time we get a new TV, I just take it off and stick it on top of the other one. Ain't that weird how stuff like that? You think about stuff if I think about, I don't know, I think about stuff in the land. I think about people getting jobs and stuff like that and working. And I can't remember, we had a buddy up there that went to our church that worked up there in the wash shop, and I can't remember his name. I apologize, I can't remember him. I really liked him. And I worked up there in the wash shop all the time, forever, okay? But I think about people that worked out there, and I think about them, and man, it's a lot of people don't even remember that dealership ever being there.
No.
No. I was talking to Betty about it, and we was talking about, I said, there's so much around here, people they don't remember when the livestock used to be out there, or the McDonald's used to be where Advance Auto is, or, and people don't, you talk to kids about that now, and they say, what?
Yeah, we was talking about the McDonald's the other day when it used to be there, and I forget who it was, but it was an older, kid, and he was like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they don't remember nothing like that. And but Hardee's has always been there, hadn't it, for 1,000 years?
Yeah.
And I never thought Long John Silver's would go out of business.
I didn't either.
No, I'd have thought there's enough grease in that building to keep that thing going forever. It's hard to tell how many $1 million it made.
There's always people there.
Yeah.
Seem to be. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
we even take a trip to Lebanon every now and again just to eat some Long John Silver.
Exactly. Yeah, we do it. We go to Coburn over at the races, over on the oval track over there, and we'll stop when we come out there at night, late at night, and Lord, it's heavy. We'll eat that, and Janice and I will, and we're about half sick after we eat it, But I have to stop and get it. I have to get the fish and the chicken. We'll stop and do it. You think about those things. But I don't know, man. I mean, let me ask you this. When you think about your dad, I mean, what do you hope that people will remember about your dad? And I know I'm talking about him a lot, but I mean, what do you hope that they remember about him from your heart and your mind?
Probably just that he tried to be good to everybody, I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, I really do think that he just tried to be good to most everybody.
Yeah. I think he was good to them.
I don't know one singled out person that he just had a problem with, I mean, I'm sure he did, but you didn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd shake his head sometimes. You get talking about something, he'd shake his head about it. You know what I mean? I can still see him. I can still see him sitting there. And I asked him about stuff, and he'd sort of say, we'll have to look at it, or we'll have to see, he'd say. But I think that's important, though, that people be known for that, because a lot of people you can't say that about. I don't know. Some people live like a rascal. It's just the way they go. Okay? All right? I don't want to be like that. You?
No, I don't.
I want to be long-suffering. I really do. I know your mama loved your dad, and it really seemed like, and I know she missed him.
I know she does, for sure.
How's she doing?
She's doing well.
Is she? Yeah. When they're married to somebody big like that and a big personality, it's a little bit different. I know my mom, still my dad, still loved my dad, and they were together 60-some years.
Yeah.
65 years, I believe. So, I mean, that's a long time. I know my wife told me the other day, she said something about going to heaven. She said, what will people do if they are divorced and they remarry? Who will they be with in heaven? I said, well, I ain't sure they'll be with nobody. I said, the Bible said there won't be no marriage in heaven. And I said, well, I bet you I'll be there with you. She said, and I said, well, no, it's till death do us part. I said, I don't believe you will. I said, I don't. Then the other day I said something about, she was talking about being buried somewhere. Oh, yesterday. We was down at the property down there, and there's a big old rock down there. She said, I want that for our headstone. I want to put John and Janice on it. And I said, I don't know. She said, well, that's what I want. I said, maybe we might not be buried together. I might be buried with my next wife or something like that. Oh, I don't believe so, she said. She's pretty big on that, at being buried with stuff. Well, I don't know. But I liked you, Daddy. I just wanted to say, I wanted to sit down a little bit with you. I think it's important to remember him. Okay? I really do. And he was just touched my heart, and it breaks my heart when I think about it. And I think about people like that. And I think about Monty.
Yeah. Yes, Uncle Monty.
I mean, I would have thought Monty would outlive me.
Yeah.
Especially no faster than he moved. That's what I always kidded him about that. I mean,
Him or Dad, either one got too
I
excited
know,
about
no,
it.
both of them moved. There may be something to that. Old Monty moved real easy and real slow. I think about him. It breaks my heart when I think about him dying. And, I don't know, man. I think about people in our life. I believe it's important to be good to people as we go along.
Do too.
Take some time and memories, and I share this 1,000 times. We don't know their memories when we're making them, and with people and in the history that we have. I mean, when you think, and people don't know, there's a whole generation that don't know who Monty Rife was. Okay?
Right.
And there he was. Monty was instrumental in a lot of stuff. He sure loaned me a lot of money. You know what I mean? I'd go in, and the only thing I had one time with him, I had loaned some money on something for somebody. I can't remember what it was. And anyway, and I put a CD up for it. And I come in one day, and the lady, the little cashier, she said, well, we cashed out your CD today. I said, well, why'd you cash it? Well, she said, they got behind on the loan, so we cashed it out. She gave me a check for what I had left. That sort of stunned me just a little bit. That was back in the day when you could go to a bank and get money.
It's hard to do any banking much these days.
You can't. You go in now, them con people have got it messed up.
It is.
You can't hardly get money. I don't want to get none right now, though. But no,
for sure.
I'm going to stay away from it as much as I can. I keep driving my trucks, I got them Ford trucks mostly aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
And they just ain't going to rust, I don't guess. I wonder what will fall apart on them.
I really don't know.
They seem like they ain't.
I'm kind of anxious to see how they
ain't,
do.
It's 18, but they ain't a spot or nothing.
I just fixed a brand new Ford dually that a gooseneck trailer had jackknifed a tear in the snow.
Yeah.
And I think it had like 750 miles on it.
Gee.
It just had got it, I guess.
Oh, man.
And
gee whiz.
Tore it up pretty good.
I reckon.
He had been through the same place like 3 or 4 trips.
Right.
But he was loaded. So I guess the weight of the trailer held him in place. So he was coming through there to park his trailer back, and it slid off with him.
Man, live. I had a dually one time. My daughter was talking to me on the phone. She had a coal truck down Kentucky with it. My truck. Totaled it out. And Gary kept telling me we could fix it. And I said, Gary, I can never drive it again. He said, now you. I said, no.
I remember that truck.
I said, no, I can't do it. I said, I'm going to take that money. I'm going to get another white truck just like it. Had to move the fuel tank over, fix everything over on it. I said, I don't want to. I can't drive it after it's been wrecked. I always feel like it's on crooked. You know what I mean?
It's always in your head.
Yeah.
It's funny. We make jokes around the shop there. Just certain things people probably don't notice until they have an accident. Then they start paying attention to things, But a lot of times they start seeing stuff that's probably been going on for years, Yeah,
I know that. And then the other truck, let's see. I think we hit something with this other truck we got. Colson's still got it. My son's got that truck now. But the 4-wheel drive, you have to get out and lock the hubs in or something now, or something we had to do different. And he's always fussing because he said, you should have took that back when you had it worked on. And then my truck now, well, the door will freeze. It's had a recall on it, but it freezes open. Like in the wintertime, I open it up and it'll freeze open. And it won't shut.
Oh, no.
And so I had to put my seatbelt on and ride down the road and hold it till it warms up. It warms up. It warms up. It does just fine after that warms up. And I had a recall on it, and I was supposed to have taken it fixed. I just never got it fixed.
It's hard to find time. I've got some on their Bronco, and I
don't know. I did take it one time, had to recall on it, and they jerked the whole motor out of it. It was that clicking. It was click, 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 click. They would click that 6-cylinder click. Mm-hmm. They did work on it, but I got 160,000 miles on it now, so I figure I'll be all right.
Yep. say it's good.
I put gas treatment in it the other day for the first time. I said, well, I'm going to put some gas treatment. Got 160,000. And I tell you something, too. I had never put brakes on that truck with 160,000 miles. Another day, it was giving me that little, my wife was throwing a fit. She said, "That you got to put," I said, "I just bought rotors and everything." I said, "Well, if it lasts me another 100,000 miles, I'll be all right." Well, it'll be okay. I told him I tried to change the oil every 10,000 miles. I tried to change it all. I said, "Why you change it every 3,000 miles? How can you afford to do that?"
I don't know.
Ain't no way, is it?
No.
Well, I tell you what, man, I appreciate you. I know it's hard when you think about stuff. You even think about even things you want to say about you. You'll think about stuff after a while you wish you'd said. But I think about your dad, and I think about your whole family, buddy. And when I think about you guys, that's a legacy people that have helped build this town. Yeah. I think about that, okay? When I think about Jim Ramey, okay? How many kids, when Jim Ramey was alive, the dealerships, how many people bought houses, put their kids through college? I mean, because they worked there.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you think about how many people that worked out there at the dealership and worked with it, I mean, how many people paid their rent, okay? Bought their groceries. I mean, man alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that makes kings in our land, and I think about people like McCann's. I think about Don Dunford. Okay, I mean, these people, this whole generation will never remember him.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, take a look around. You can see his mark on the town that we live in, but people won't remember. They won't remember. You say something about it, and they say who, or Jack Harry, you know. Yeah. And I think about your dad in that respect. I mean, he was just a cool cat. He was real easy to work with. He just wasn't, he was real laid back about it. He just was easy. Didn't seem to get all stirred up about it.
Never got excited.
No. I come by and asked him, I'd have something I need to go pick up with the wrecker. Okay, he said, he'd just go along with me. Get it, drag it in. And then he'd bring it out there, and I say, when are you going to fix it? Because, I want my stuff to be ahead of everybody else's. Well, we're going to get to it, And I'd wait on Arvis, and he'd tell me anything. Arvis tell me he's going to fix it tonight. Yeah. Okay? I'd go out there and it'd still be sitting there.
Yeah, he'll tell you what you want to hear.
Arvis was a people pleaser. Arvis would tell you stuff, but he tickled me to death. He go, I'll work on that. He said, I'll get that. I'll take care of you. I go back out there and my truck still be sitting there.
Same spot.
Yeah. I was getting to it this weekend, he'd say. Oh, man. It's cool, ain't it, buddy? Well, Gary, I really appreciate you, buddy. I thank you for taking time. I know you work hard, stay busy. I appreciate you. But I'd seen you the other day. I was thinking about you at Sunday school, and I was thinking about your dad and your family, and I don't want him to be forgotten, okay? I think it's important. I really do. And people are good to me, I don't forget them. The ones that are bad to me, I don't remember. I forget about them pretty quick. But the ones that are good to me, I try to remember those people and hold on to those memories and think about that, I share a lot, too. I try to make new friends in my life because if you don't, your world get too small.
Yeah.
I try to make sure I make new friends all the time and do that. We can never do anything for you. All you got to do is tell me. I tell people if I can't do it, I usually know somebody that can. I'll find somebody.
Got connections.
I got connections, and I've got. We talking about a friend of ours the other day. My daughter was talking about somebody, a friend of our family. She said, "That's the very person I would call if I killed somebody. I need to help to bury the body." She said, "I'd call them, and they'd say I'll be right there." She said,
it's good to have him.
You better believe it. I had an interview with a guy a while back, and I was showing Connie in there, and she said, "Now that's a guy to call if you need to get somebody beat up. You need to call him." She said he'll be there for you. Well, brother, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, John.
Thank you so much.
It's our hope that you enjoyed John Dash and Friends today. Your host, John Dash, believes these television programs serve as preserving history, capturing meaningful conversations and life lessons for generations to come. Each week, he sits down with friends from all walks of life as they share their wisdom, their stories, and their life experiences. If you enjoyed today's program, you can find us on all social media platforms. Just search John Dash and Friends. We're on Facebook and TikTok as well. In closing, John and his family thank you for allowing us to introduce you to their friends. We look forward to seeing you next time on John Dash and Friends.